This is our attempt to change the world through a film. It's a film project about 5 characters from 5 countries who wants to collaborate to start a new country on a boat. Part fiction, part documentary. The fiction part where we follow the story of those 5 characters representing people from different religions, different looks and genders, collaborating to start a new country, We have some creative people in the house. The documentary is the largest collection of human wisdom on earth. We interview people from Barack Obama to Michelle Obama to homeless dude to different, we ask people to get their cameras and interview people, ask them questions like, what do you want to see in a new country? How can we fix this country? How can we fix your country? How can we make sure that countries do not go wrong? And by doing so, we're showing people how we are the same, we want the same stuff, and at the same time, we give people solutions, like actionable solutions that they can use today. And of course, we're going to implement this in our new country or city. So, I have here, I'm Mohammed Al-Borno, and this is Duke, and this is Jim, and this is Alex, and this is amazing Matthias. I mean, they're all amazing, and you guys are amazing, by the way.
This is obviously an idea that I've thought of, and that, I guess, establishing a country or new civilization on a boat, not necessarily a boat, but I think that there's a growing discontentment among adults, and especially the younger generation, with the way things are run, where people realize that they buy things and they're feeling more and more empty, and that's not filling this hole, and that everybody's kind of pessimistic about the future. We think our children are going to live worse lives than we did. And I think there's this sort of understanding between people that they would rather live in a more cooperative world. And so that's something I'd put a lot of thought into. And it turns out Bjorno and I have had the exact same idea about what to do about this. I think that's just a solid idea, is to sort of experiment and show that people around the world want this and that a cooperative future is possible, because the biggest barrier to possibility is belief. And if we can establish possibility, then that's the first step in the right direction.
I'll touch up on the fact that people are buying a lot of stuff these days. Everyone's chasing money, and what they forgot is that community and people is actually what's at the end of the day going to make somebody happy. And there was another documentary done, and it doesn't matter where you come from around the world, but if you have family and friends who are essentially like family, you are going to be much happier, and it doesn't matter how much you bring in, but the basic necessities of life.
To touch on that, I've traveled quite a bit, and the happiest people I've ever seen in the entire world were these natives in Fiji who had never even seen Caucasians before. I was on a mission in some remote island, and they were so poor, and they had energy for 2 hours a day, but they're the happiest people. They don't lock their doors, let their kids go out at night, all their friends with all their neighbors, and it was just beautiful. And that helped show me that capitalism is not necessarily what's going to be making people the happiest.
I'd like to touch on these as well in terms of the opposite of capitalism. It's not necessarily socialism. I'm not a financial expert, but some people say, oh, the opposite. The world is changing to. Some people said this a few years ago. The world is changing to, evil and good, and this is not really good. This is not just diverse. Putting people in just two polars is not good. So the opposite of capitalism is not necessarily socialism. The opposite of capitalism. I mean, we kind of communism. We kind of we were building this new thing that we don't really have a name for it. And of course, we apologize. It's hybrid, and we apologize for you who just love naming things. We don't have put labels. Labels is kind of put titles on us and limits us. If we don't have labels, we're just free to think and we're free to collaborate. But once we have labels oh, I'm a capitalist, oh, I'm a socialist or communist or whatever, then we start fighting. But we don't just eliminate labels in terms of either, Christian, Muslim, Jew, or white or black or yellow or what?
Oh, just human.
Just human. This is my amazing angel, Matthias. He changed my life. We're going to get back to him in a second here. So we're building this. It's a new movement. It's a social, it's the sharing economy. It's the things that you already been doing with those amazing apps that things like the couch surfing project and things encourage people to share. And it's not something bad. It's a good thing. And we're working towards making it happen. We have here Alex.
Well, I also came to the project as of, I guess, this morning. When Mohammed just came in and he was I was thinking about what we were talking about last night. And then we started talking about how we have this mutual frustration that a lot of people are a lot of talk and we all kind of want change, but nobody's doing anything about it. And I've quit several jobs and gotten in a lot of trouble in college and stuff because my brother and myself were a little notorious for actually taking action rather than just like saying anything. So this very much resonates with me, and I like the idea of actually like not just, it's, as I was just explaining to Mohammed, that it was like Occupy was a lot of like screaming and and a lot of talking and some action. That was a step forward, but now it's time to really, like, if we're going to make a difference, then we have to fucking do something.
This is an open debate.
It is. And by while I'm talking, so we can share this one as a symbol of sharing. It's kind of messy because
Cooperativeness.
exactly.
Do you want to show your unwrapping of it?
I'm wrapping. Yeah, this is a symbol. You know,
Sure is.
we appreciate different cultures
And different body parts and
exactly.
gender.
And then to not get too adult, but yeah, it's a symbol of the Falah, and the symbol of the elephant. So we're teaching people to see similarities, not like differences. Like I have long hair, but I put it up, so I look more similar to the dudes now. But I can also take it out, look more like a girl. So sometimes you can find the feminine inside of you, you can find the more male parts of you, and just find the similarities between the communities is good. So in practice, we have a sailing boat, and I can probably buy 2 tickets for people to Sweden, and have a sailing boat for 100 feet. So I like to be practical about community. And I know the best way to develop community is doing things together, like traveling together. We've been traveling for 4 or 3 weeks together, and we just commune. Like mine, you've been like living kind of together for a long time. You know the war, love, feelings, and just doing that is much more fun than just living a lonely single life.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for whatever shit will happen.
An important piece missed, like when you're talking about this project, when we discussed it last night, was we're going to start off with a documentary. I think it's really important to kind of get like a good feel across the world with all the different types of people. Be like, what do you like about your country now? What is missing? And what do you like about other countries? And what would you do to change? If you saw a perfect world, like what would it incorporate? And we have to have prepared surveys, and then we'll do some fun street shots, and we'll take it all apart and we'll put it together. And then I say we move into this fictional story that captures everything that we got from around the world from all these different people. And then we make this story, we make this world that exists and how it would look. And then we buy a big barge, and then we start anew, we get MTV involved, we get somebody to do a reality television show, and then we see, okay, here's how we imagine it happening, and let's see what really happens. So let's see what dynamics actually create people and how does it change. And when we see the human ego and everything that will get in the way of community, and see like what are the aspects. If we take away money, if we take away some kind of commerce, if we make it transparent through something like Bitcoin, like let's test out this model a couple times and see how it goes to the serendipitous what's the word, nirvana, utopia. I mean, I think that is very and I think we can build up a very strong following just by these talks right here and getting our plans and crowdsourcing and then traveling around the country. Maybe at some point we split. And we like have our own particular areas, and I'm gonna get really animated here.
Yeah, go for it, bro.
But I mean, I think when you really sold me in like 5 seconds is because when I was gonna become a billionaire is when I was gonna start my own country, and I was gonna start my own little water world, because when it comes down to it, and a lot of this I got from Sex at Dawn, but it's community. Like we've become so large and we've become so isolated that even though we're around people every day, we're all strangers, and we all have to protect ours. And we really lost those lines of like what is ours and what's together. And our tribal system is just fucked up, and I'll just swear in this? I don't know, but good, because I'm going to do it anyway. PG-13, I guess, minimum. But no, when I saw this developing in my head very quickly off just a couple words, we've all kind of been at this situation, and it does come through action. But I think our actions first should be planned, kind of make this movement, get people to step up and see and have some fun with it, and then see if we can ever effectively, without anarchy, destroy what most countries and our governments are already doing, because they're not going to let this get out of control. Like, the last thing our government wants to do is lose control.
Yeah. Like you said, if there's a boat or some sovereign land, even like actual land, if we could document it and prove to the world like this way of living works, and they can see it and live it, and we could like quantitatively measure like who's happier, who has more food, who's more productive, and like get all these metrics on it, then it's going to be kind of one of those things.
Yeah, my plan was actually, if you've seen Waterworld, like have like a big carrier ship where you can really have like 1,000 people, perfect. And these ships just kind of float around and they meet up with each other. They have like a big festival, kind of mix a little bit, good for the gene pool. And then they separate again. And when there's population's too big, we start another carrier. I mean, I had this in my head how I would like to do it. But
That's beautiful. Can I comment on? Well, yeah. I mean, it's sacred though. This kind of like reproductive thing is sacred, as per our also director, Swiss director Lawrence, who's not here with us. She's in Long Beach. Okay, here's the thing: is that there's so many guys, there is so many projects out there, there are so many people who believe the same thing as Jim and Juke and Alex and Matthias and me, and we need to unite. We need to collaborate. You know, like Braveheart when he was talking to people, unite us, unite the class. And like Zeitgeist Movement, the Venus Project, the Seasteading Institute, you know us, Joe Kirk, you're awesome and you're doing amazing things. You're going to LA, we need to talk to you. And Max Motti, the amazing visionary who started Blue Seed. We need to collaborate. We all want the same thing. We need to collaborate and unite and make this happen because it's beautiful and because the world needs this. And we ask you as well for your contributions, whether it's actually money, which is kind of, but what's important than money, okay? And this is like really has to be clear, is what the money will buy us, okay? And this is Alex's idea. And
marketing, I think you should say provide us.
Provide us. Of course, English is not my first language here, but Alex also knows that, and you guys know that. So, what's more important is what money gets, not really what money itself. And this is where we ask you, and this is kind of new. I've never seen this in an Indiegogo project before. We ask you to also contribute by offering us a place to stay for this crew. A camera, if you have a camera and you can use it, you can film us. Sound equipment, food, right? Everything that we actually need to make this happen. It's not money. It's not money. Money is just still there because it's there. So sometimes we need to, move around.
Not looking for a salary.
Exactly.
Not looking for a salary.
We're not looking for a salary, and we're also going to do this. We're going to have this transparent project, transparent policy. We'll have this on newcountry.org or WeTree?
WeTree.
Or WeTree. We still we need the votes on WeTree.
Yeah.
WeTree or New Country or citizenship. We need your votes as well. But anyways, we'll have this. Anyways, sorry guys, we creative people are ADD a bit, but it's good to be, that's why I quit the corporate world so that I joined the amazing people. So the point is, we'll have a list. We'll have a list of things that we want. Alex called it the wish list. And this list is like very finite, like to the detailed of what we really need. Crews, like accommodation and food. And we have an open list, and you can share this list and you can say, I can offer you this item on this list. Okay? You can write your name. It's going to be on newcountry.org/list. We'll just check this, just check the, underneath the text of the Indiegogo, you'll find this. But you'll have this list where if you can offer something for this nonprofit collective project. And if you're a lawyer, if you're a marketer, we're building a new country. We're building a new, community. And we need your help. Is that to make sure that this project is good, it's a collective thing. So there's no power vested in him or her or him or me. It's a collective, and the collective conscious is beautiful. The collective conscious cannot agree on a bad thing. It's a peaceful project. It's a positive project. If you hear like some silly jokes, sometimes I will say it, sometimes Jim will say it. We will, it's just like jokes. And the collective conscious will just prevail, and we'll make sure that this project stays a good project. We also need your help. It's a collective thing, so we need people. We need ideas. We need you to put your ideas out there. Counter your countermind thoughts. Give us your true mind thoughts on what you would like to see in a new country. How can we make this? How can we make this further? How can we reach out to people? How can we overcome millions of dollars of budgets? So we want to show people that our collective here, our collection, with your help, we can overcome big budgets.
When we talk about planning this out, think about all the conversations and the debates that are going to happen from this. We talk about one point, and there's going to be maybe 100 different positions, and then we have to decide at the end of the day, like what our ship, years from now, whenever we get to that point, is going to do. This
But we
is
all have a common goal that we're going towards, and that's
Yeah,
change.
but- and-
so as long as we keep that as the focus, we can make decisions based on
I understand that.
wanting to see that change.
I think
I'm saying there's going to be a whole lot of planning
Of
that's going to
course,
go
that's
into this.
humanity.
Life is that way.
Yeah.
I get that. I'm just
Plan
saying.
on the planet.
I'm just curious if everybody else is
We
thinking
bought
like
a pair of
how
handcuffs for you, Jim, so we can lock you up. Trust me, we will need them.
we're going to have a prison.
No, just a gym.
Wow.
See, I'm all for execution. Just get rid of problems.
we need a gym on the boat.
Come on, man.
Okay,
Why
now
did you
we-
like? Just let's be positive.